All right, this is practice 9, and we are talking about mixing data types. Java is a strong typed language, and you need to pay attention to the variable type when assigning a value. If you need double numbers that are going to have decimals, if you need decimal numbers that are real, then you need to make sure that you use a double data type, because integers cannot hold that. If you need really big numbers, then you're going to want to probably still use a double. For the most part, coders use doubles more than they use integers, but integers values are still out there. Now, if you need to switch a variable or change it, integer types cannot store those decimal values unless they're casted, or you use a cast. In addition, when assigning value from one variable to another, data types and data type sizes play an important role. So let's look at that really quick. So if we go back to the second page of this, here's our data types and our memory usage and what we can store in each of those. And it's important that you remember the data types and what their memory usages are. So if you have a int and you also have a short, you can place the short inside the integer, but you cannot place the integer inside the short. That causes a loss of precision error or a runtime error. Floats are of course the same size as an integer, so you can put an integer value into a float, but you cannot put a double value, which is a 64-bit, into a float value. Okay, so you do have to make sure that you understand or know where to look for your data type usage and values. Okay, so let's go back over to mixing data types. Now, of course, if you have already closed your data types program, you can reopen it, or we can create a new program. Remember, creating a new program is very simple. You just do File, New, Class. You give it a name, so we could call this mixing, and click on the box for putting in the main method. Now we're going to come over here and copy this code that's in our website, place it in our program. And so if we look at this, we have system.out.println 1. 1's value right now is 90. Now we're going to take 1 and we're going to assign it letter. Letter right now is the character A, char A. It's a char value. And then we're going to put that into 1. Remember that 1 is an integer. So start thinking about what you think it's going to print. Is it going to print the character A, or is it going to print the value of A? Okay. Now we have 1 equals character A. Okay, char to int. We're assigning character A to 1, and then we're going to print it out. So we're going to go through and run this in just a second. And here we have system.out.println dec. Okay, dec right now is 234, and we're going to print that out first. Just going to print out 234. Then we're going to put the 1 value, which is now character A, and we're going to place that into dec, and then we're going to print it out. So let's go ahead and compile this. And so we have on our first print line, okay, right here, system.out.println 1, it's 90. Then our second one, we took a letter, which was character A, and we placed that into 1, and now we get 65. We get the value of what that character is. Then we printed that out, and then we said 1 equals character A, so we assigned it a character, which is a characters. If we look back at our chart, come back over here and we look at our chart, characters are 16-bit unassigned. So this 16-bit can fit into the 32-bit. So we can take this 16-bit unassigned value and place it into our integer value. And when we print it out, we get 65. Then we have our dec, which is 234. Notice that it printed the 0.0 on it because it is a decimal value. And now we took our one value of 65 and we placed that into the double value of duck, and when we printed that out we get 65.0. You need to remember that even if it says 234, 65, 97, whatever the value is of a decimal, that when it prints out, it prints out 0.0. You will lose points on worksheets or quizzes or tests if you select the 65 and not the 65.0. Okay? And that is all for mixing data types. If you have any questions, please contact me.